Hey guys, I want to show you how to install Ubuntu on VirtualBox now. VirtualBox is a virtual machine and it's free of charge. It runs in Windows, so you can switch between Windows and VirtualBox very easily. So first go to virtualbox.org.com. Go to Downloads and click on, it doesn't matter you're on which system you're on, it works with the multiple systems. For me it's of course Windows. So you let that download. Depending on your internet connection, it might take about minute and a half, maybe five. While this is downloading, I showed in previous video how to get the ISO, but you need to get an ISO image for this to work of Ubuntu. So you go to ubuntu.com. And go to get Ubuntu now, run it with Windows, and down here you'll see alternative downloads. So when you come down here, you see there's .torrent files. You could get whichever one you want. There's two options for each. I have the desktop AMD 64 because my system is 64-bit. So you have to use a torrent downloader. So you could use something like utorrent.com, and you could use this, download this, it's free of charge, and then download this file. It's much faster than downloading it from a web browser. Okay, so you have that. Just make sure you know where that is. Okay, so now that is downloaded. Okay, so this is running. You click run from wherever you downloaded it. For me, it's on my desktop. Click next. Click next. I don't want that. You could leave that as it is if you want. And go ahead with the installation. It's gonna ask you a couple of times during the installation to click install and uninstall. Just click install for all of them. You'll be fine. Okay, so this has downloaded. Alright, so now just click finish and it will come up. Alright, you gotta click new. Next, type in, give it a name. It's up to you what you want to give it. This memory now, you don't want to go over the red bar. There's problems that come up because this is running on top of Windows, so your Windows still does need RAM to run. So I usually give it a little over less than the red bar. This is about 3 gigs. I have 6 gigs of RAM. Alright, let's go to next. Create a new hard disk because you don't have one. This will be a virtual hard disk. So the option is dynamic or fixed. Dynamic is it will take up space as it goes on. So if it needs more space, it will take up that space. But there is a set amount of space that you could set, so it doesn't go over that. I'm just gonna leave it as dynamically allocated. This is where you allocate the amount of space, the maximum space you want it to have. I'm leaving it as default 8 gigs, but you could leave it as whatever you want. And click create. So this should be done. So this you see right here is the OS type is Ubuntu. Now you have to start it. Now once you start it, it's gonna ask you where it is your ISO folder is or your ISO file. So you have to go here and select your ISO file. Okay, so mine is selected. You just go here, you browse through the folders, and you get your ISO file wherever the torrent has downloaded it. Let's go to next, and you click start. And so now it's gonna start installing Ubuntu. You're gonna get a couple of these messages. I say you read them and click don't show again so it doesn't keep bugging you. Alright, and so this is gonna take a little bit. It's gonna install the whole operating system, and so I'm gonna pause it for now. Once it gets ahead and asks me something, I will start from there. So while this is going on, one thing I want to mention is some of you may get an error saying this ISO is not compatible, or this version of Ubuntu is not compatible with 64 and 86 version. It's an error that has to do with the virtual technology for Intel. Usually in the BIOS, there's an option which lets you enable the virtualization technology, the hardware virtualization. And so if that is not enabled, or if your CPU doesn't support virtualization, then you could either try to go to BIOS, which is what comes up. It comes up right before you as soon as you restart your computer or you start it again. There's a splash screen, and that splash screen you have to press maybe like F2 or F12. It depends on the computer. And you have to go through, maybe it's in like the advanced options or something like that, and you have to enable it. If it's not there, then it's you could come back to Windows and try to use 32-bit. If that doesn't work, then it's I have no other solution of making it work in a virtual box. You may want to just try the Wooby, and you may get something like this, the upgrade BIOS, or you could just ignore it. I believe it's because you're running it inside of a virtual box. But yeah, that could just be discarded for now. Okay, so it has been installing for about 5 minutes now, and it looks like it's ready to come up. Now, it hasn't even fully installed yet. This is the first boot, so it takes a bit. It's going to ask you whether you want to download updates while it's being installed. So that's up to you, depending on how long you can wait. So this is the first boot of Ubuntu. Okay, so now we're at the install screen. You can click you click install Ubuntu. Alright, so now here is going to ask you download updates while installing. So this will download all the updates, and there will be quite many, and it will install it. It depends on your choice. If you want to do it later, it's going to pop up when you're working. It's going to tell you that you have an update. Alright, I'm just going to leave it because I don't want to download all the updates right now. And after this, it's just going to go on to install. While it's installing, it's going to ask you like your time zone and the computer name you want to give it. Over here, it's a virtual disk. This will not erase your Windows at all. Whatever happens inside this virtual box will not affect your Windows. It will only affect that partition of hard drive that you made. So I have erased disk. As you can see it's only 8.6 gigs, which is what we assigned. We assigned 8, but it comes up as 8.6. And click install. So yes, it's going to ask you the name and the password, and so just once you enter those, it should be up and running, and you should have full internet connection as long as Windows has it. And if you see down here, this is the network connection. It sees it as it's a network connection. It sees it as you have plugged in an Ethernet cable instead of wireless, even though you may be using wireless like I am. So that may be that may be a good thing because some people have drivers problems for network cards, and so they can't get onto internet connection. So this way they could be sure that they do have internet connection inside Ubuntu. So this is just gonna go run and it's gonna finish, and then you will have a copy. You close this, you could click power off machine. Now you could do now let's say if you want to set up a folder that, well, let's say you want to access some files from your Windows computer. You can't just drag and drop. So what you would have to do is you go to settings, you go to shared folders, and you create a new folder. Now over here you click other, and let's say you want to just share your C drive. You click OK, and this will share you have an option to make it read only, and so that will make sure you don't damage anything in there. Auto mount, it's default is fine. So once you do this, so when you get inside Ubuntu, if you go to the home folder on the left hand side, it should tell you file system. And so it's if you don't see that, then you probably have to go to the main directory and go to host folder, and the host folder will probably have it. My Ubuntu I haven't fully installed, so I can't show it to you, but that it should work no problem. Anyways, internet connection is working, so if it's a small file you could always transfer by internet. But yes, other than that, you have a full version of Ubuntu. You will also have to install guest editions. So if you go into devices and you click install guest editions, that will make sure that this is how it's small. It will make it full screen, and so little things like that, it will take care of those. So you want to do that once your machine is fully set up, all the updates are done. And that's about it.